What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Gabe here, and got something pretty interesting that actually just kind of randomly came to my mind. The possibilities of Power Rangers Kroger Force version 6. Yes, I said version 6, and yeah, I could already, I kind of could picture, like just say if this, I know Kroger Power and Kroger Ford never really got published out or anything. Is more, so it's more in the line of fan theory, fan series there, just for fun and everything. Sort of like Power Rangers Hyperforce, which even though it is a fan series, they did make it kind of canon with some help from the Power Ranger community and also some of the Power Ranger actors and everything that joined in with them. It was sort of like an RPG kind of series there. So, Hyper Force. So, so anyway, yeah, I could kind of see like if this was an actual lit series, like the previous versions, for example. Um, so as just a recap, before I go into that recap, there was in my playlist of my Power Ranger adventures on the channel. There was my adventure. Matter of fact, let me bring it. I can bring it up right here. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, I can bring it up right here. Let's see, Power Rangers. Let me get to play this. Or better yet, yeah, yeah, go to the channel itself. I was in the YouTube studio. Anything can't be stopped. Okay, so let's see, playlist. Got free comic book days and so on. Let's see, go on, scrolling down to, let's see, pop right there. So, going into the Power Rangers adventure, you got talking about Jason David Frank, uh, yeah, Jason David Frank, the clips from the when he appeared at the BojaCon, and of course, now you have say My Adventures in Power Rangers Begins. That was the first one there. I entered oh god, little comment, little reply to one of my comments there. My Adventures in Power Rangers, like the original, Mighty Morphin, all the way up to SPD. And I may have went further. I'm not completely sure, but I know I went up to SPD because I did imagine. Well, technically, uh, I some kids from a nursery imagined me in the series and got me back into it. But yeah, my Adventures in Power Rangers, then Power Rangers Mega Cards, which that was the first technically the first series that I came up with, which was during high school, the beginning of high school before I started working at Kroger. Then Kroger Force versions 1 and 2, version 3, version 4, and also then Power Rangers Cyber Squad, and at the same time Digi Ranger. So yeah, that was so I had that kind of going on there. And then even what if Mr. Peanut fought the power? What if the Power Rangers fought Mr. Peanut? Yeah, so yep. So there was all of that there. And of course the Megazord review and my super and my own take on what if Power Rangers was more Super Sentai style kind of. So yeah, that was all of that there, and all the so Mega Card, like I say, started when I first entered high school, kind of in 2002, before I started working at Kroger, and let's see, okay, so yeah, I started like kind of around 2002 or 2003, but it was before I started working at Kroger. Then next time then I tried, you know, tried different things with it all the way up until I started working at Kroger, which was started kind of at the end of my junior year in high school, going into my senior year in '05, and when I went into my senior year, um, that I think some point, probably even before that, but at some point shortly after I started working there, that's when I started like, well, what if Power Rangers was combined with Kroger, and that's what version one came in. Then had version two, kind of leading into my senior year when I was at the same time imagining SBD with the kids in the nursery, kind of around that same time. Both versions during my time at Pines Road Kroger, which so that was 2005 to 2006. Then didn't come back to that ideal until 2000. I want to say um, after I first started working at Mansfield Kroger, kind of going into 2009, version 3 and then version 4, because there's a mention of welcome to 2010, because when I first started, I was intending, like, getting all the episodes rolled out and then releasing it in 2010. Um, so yeah, there was 2009 to 2010 versions, 3 and 4, and maybe partly into 2011. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, definitely was '09 part. I think more so '09 partly into 2010 mostly, or just maybe, or it may have been like at the end of '08 going into '09. Yeah, that I think that might be it. Versions 3 and 4, because I know I was engaged at that point. Me and Queen Tina were engaged to each other, and like I say, and just a maybe, I might, after making this video, maybe at some point when I get time, if I feel like it, I might do a redo of why that came open. I might do a redo of my previous Power Ranger fan series. That, like, let's, like, sort of a history of, like, a redo of it, and somewhat of a different way. Sort of like, because I'm also going to do the same. Just a spoiler, I'm also going to do the same with my Yumiko books when Yumiko number 4 is finally released. Finally released and everything. Have do like a reread of Yumiko's novels 1 through 3, and then number 4, and break it up like into parts instead of reading the whole book in one video or live stream. And my wife, Queen Tina, she was thinking of the same thing with her Bubblina novel after she read it. Like, not right away, but later on, doing a reread of that, and then the same thing with her other Bubblina novels as she goes along. That's the thing. So it might be a possible remake of Kroger Force in that way, in order to avoid having extremely long videos, and you'll have, like, a not so long version of this in parts there. So anyway, back to the subject at hand. Yeah. So yeah, '08 to '09. Yeah. Then there was, at the same time, Power Rangers Cyber Squad was thought out and everything, and then immediately thinking of other Power Ranger versions that I never really wrote a series, that I never really got a series, written out for, but just ideals of other series, like Geo, which is supposed to be like a Power Rangers spy series. I think there'll probably be a Power Rangers Dragon Rider, and Royal Battle, which was supposed to be Brownie and his friends as Power Rangers there, and then a Power Rangers Academy, for sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX meets Power Rangers, and then Power Rangers Revelation, which is sort of like Power Rangers in the end times. They're fighting the Antichrist. So Yeah, so that was quite a bit that I had going uh, forward in the back in that before 2010 and 2011 there. So now 2026. Let's just say all these ideals sort of ended um, within the confounds of say coming up to 2010. So that's 26 years ago as of now, and along with the idea that I was going to do a version 5 of Kroger Force, sort of like Sentai style there. Um, so now, still going within wanting to go Sentai style, but mixed in with regular Power Rangers. Uh, 26 years later, the ideal for Power Rangers version 6. Um, and I will, and now one thing I will state is that there was some thoughts somewhere in between 2010 and now. Because remember, if any of y'all remember, 2010 going into 2011 is when Saban bought Power Rangers back, and we started after that. That remastered Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Adam West style, Bam and King and Kong. We then start. He bought it back, and we then got Power Rangers Samurai and Mega Force and so on there, and they started off, going back to sort of the using the Mighty Morphin theme song, but altering it, like "Go Go Power Rangers, Mega Force" or "Samurai Boy, Samurai Boy, dun dun dun." Do 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 do. And then then you did get some a little different songs like in a world full of strife, we must fight to survive. Try to break the chains that define. There is only one chance to make the right stance. The tidy, the powers alive. Hey, go, go, Power Rangers. Don't you ever stop. Go, go, Power Rangers. You will rise up to the top. Rangers forever. Dino charge all together. Yeah, then you had the crushing an evil with all the might that the ninja steal the Rangers feel no danger. Go go Power Rangers, go Ninja Steel. With that 25th anniversary with a good old Jason David Frank. Is a unless you got a Master Morpher, you're nothing but a cheap copy. Yep. So yeah, had all that. God rest his soul there. And others we've lost like Tom Kane and Tom Kane with the Powerpuff Girls and that's what the Trainy Train, of course. And although this had happened like many years ago before Jason David Frank, but still Michael Jackson because of the movie that's out, and there's a lot that they've been releasing a lot of content on him lately. So uh, especially from both the recent movie and even the past movie American Dream, and real life stuff about him has been getting dropped and stuff like that. So anyway, somewhere between 2010, I would put it this way, somewhere between 2011, after Samurai, with the Go Go Samurai Morphin Code and Go Go Mega Force, or it's Morphin Time. Say, they they say Dino Chargers engage, unleash the power, and that they it's Morphin Time, Ninja Spin. So all that somewhere in the midst of all those Neo Sabans that they were showing and everything, somewhere between that and now, um, there were a few thoughts of what if like if I had some Ranger series of that style, and of course Kroger Force was one of them. You had Kroger. There was like what if they just said go go Kroger Force, and kind of style in that type of style. There was a couple of ideas I had like go Power Rangers Star Marshal, like go Star Marshal, or and then even say even like say go what you call it what they I think I want to say go hero for stuff like that there. But anyway, it was a lot of thought that then like I say. So as of now, recently, Power Rangers version 6. And I was telling Queen Tina about it. First thing came to her mind because it had been so long since Kroger Force even came into play. Was almost like those sequels when it be like over 15, 20 years before you hear anything about them, and they say, "Oh, we got a sequel." What? Like you think at that point it'd be like a reboot or something, but a sequel. So yeah, this right here, I guess technically you could say possibly a reboot, a remake, or whatever. But for version 6, yeah, kind of with some Sentai elements, mostly involving like the people that I know up there. Some of them that I'm pretty cool with there. Of course, I'm not gonna say names because, like I say, I know in the past when I did Kroger Force, I did we as because I actually discussed this with a lot of the people that that were in on those versions. So all of us kind of knew about that going forward there. But in this case, there was only one person I told, but I'm still not going to name because of consent, like consent and everything. Because like I said, we know each other. We're cool with each other. The people I'm about to mention, as the by the character names. But like I say, um, I just want to be on the safe side of like, well, Gabe, why you mentioned me in that video? I didn't say you to do that there. Take my name in there. So yeah, so we're just going by the character names, which of course, Tyson, Alex, Donald, Kiki, and Cece. So in version 6, I would imagine I actually would not be Tyson. I would actually imagine another. I would actually now this one I will mention the name of because he's a Miracle Crew member and he works at Kroger. Now it's not now. Keep in mind, this is not saying that this is something written in stone. It's not saying that this would act that. I mean, it could possibly happen, but even if it did, it's not saying that it would happen this way if it did. Things could be different. Even the fact of it being a fan series, things could be different. But I do like to keep the door open for whether it's published or fan made or just a fanfic like series to keep things open for these type of stuff. Um, so Chris Godfrey, also known as Jen, our recently new Miracle Crew member, that's real good friends, that is real cool with me and everything, and also really good friends with EJ. That was who had kind of recommended him. Um, Chris, aka Jen, he would actually be the new Tyson for version 6. That's what I'm imagining. Again, could be if this actually happens, it could play out differently, all depending on um, how things go, or what people feel like. But as of the moment, that's what came to my mind was him as the new Tyson there. Because the thing is, I was thinking in terms of like when I first thought of Kroger Force, uh, I was like, first two versions I was in high school, and then version 3 and 4 I was a young adult, because I was like I got out of high school, but I was like between 20 and 21. Had my dreadlocks and everything that some people don't believe I had. Um, so yeah, so going now, he's actually more like in his late 20s, but we could look over that. It could still, I mean, you got Andrew Garfield was almost 30 playing a high schooler, and it worked. So, pretty sure a 28-year-old could play, say, possibly someone that's like anywhere between 20 to 25. That's I mean, I don't think that would be too hard. Matter of fact, when Queen Tina looked at Chris's picture, when she looked at the video when we interviewed Chris, when we interviewed him and everything, or better yet, the thumbnail picture, first thing she thought, like, how old is he? And not, and he actually is 28. I thought he was 26 or 27 at first, but he's actually 28 there because he's 5 years under EJ, meaning 10 years under me. So, but but first thing Queen Tina thought, she thought he was like a high schooler there. Still, he thought he was still in high school there, because the way his face kind of looked and everything, despite the fact of his height. Because trust me, um, I got one of my cousins who was my best man in my wedding, in me and Queen Tina's wedding. He is real tall, and he was tall even when he was in high school. He's well, actually preteen. He was tall even as a preteen. Cause I remember when we played some video games together, and I know he's actually younger than me, and I was like 16. I think I was like 17, and we were just hanging out playing Smash Brothers together. And he's tall, and to look at him, you would think he was older than me. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, Chris, I would imagine as the new Tyson, that will become the Red Ranger, of course, Red Kroger Force. Originally, he works kind of as a cashier, but he would actually be a bagger in Kroger Force, much like I was in version 1 and 2, as the character. So he'd be a bagger, really fast on his feet, and of course with the skateboard and stuff. Uh, then you have a new Alex. Not gonna. So like I said, the only one I did say the real name of was Chris because he's a Miracle Crew member. Now the others, got to go back. Just got to tell you the character name. I ain't gonna tell you their real name now. Out the new Alex. Alex, actually, also kind of in his early 20s and everything. Possibly, I think 21 to be exact. Real cool and easy going. Be working like in I think the new works in the dairy department actually. You know what? I was gonna say frozen food, but I think, yeah, I would go with dairy. Yeah, dairy department there. Uh, so they yeah, I guess so. Anyway, dairy department. Then Kroger Force Green Ranger Donald would be in the produce department. Green produce there, green produce, and then of course Kroger Force Yellow would be with the drug GM, drug GM files there. I was gonna say the service desk at first, but I'm saying drug GM more in line with the color yellow. And last but not least, Kroger Force Pink would be the florists. They're a very young, and all of them being, young bucks in their early 20s. Um, yeah, this would, yeah, she'd be a young florist, kind of starting out in that department. So, um, so you have the five of them. Um, what I imagine is that the plot would be that the store manager, not saying her name, just say store manager, would she would have, apparently there she's been informed by the company that there's like this force, this evil force that's landed on Earth there. That according to his information on their ship and everything, they have a beef with Kroger. And I think this was a plot line I had in the original. Because I don't think I mentioned this in version 1 and 2, but in versions 3 and 4, it was supposed to be that these evil aliens had came to Earth years ago, like before, like back in say like George Washington time or something like that, that type of time period. somewhere within that time period, and they wanted to take over Earth's economy system. Uh, yeah, they want to take over Earth's economy system, but the ancestors of what of a there was a I guess I'm trying to think what would they call they wouldn't what would they call a grocery store back then? I guess you could say like a food mart or something like that. Food mart or just let's see. Let me take a look at something real quick. Because this could also help me if I decide to redo my other versions of Kroger Force videos there. So, what did they call grocery stores back in the time period of George Washington? In job as we do today, household relied on a mix of local markets, dry goods, and merchants. So, depending on where you live, you buy provisions. So, basically, they had general stores or public markets. Okay. So, I guess the public market back then that would now be known as Kroger, the workers up there had discovered this that discovered these power crystals that turned them into warriors, into powerful warriors that fought off these aliens and forcing them to retreat and vowing to return for revenge. So they've come back now. So the store manager, so the company has come to the store manager of Mike Kroger and presented these crystals that from long ago there, and fashioned them into morphers. Today's technology. Morphing grid is magical technology. So, into these morphers, uh, they have to pick five of their best employees, the best and also fit employees to battle this evil that's on its way. The evil comes, and they're yet to find them, but when the management is not looking, uh, the Tyson, Alex, Donald, Cece, and Kiki get word about, end up kind of overhearing this. I think one of them will overhear it and relay. Oh, okay, I thought it was thunder out there. I guess that's an airplane. Uh, but relay the message to the other five, to the other four. I'm sorry, and yeah, they sneak in during when the danger strikes and get a hold of the morphers. Being that this is in today's time, like 2026, or I guess if it came out later, like somewhere anywhere between 2028 to 2030 or something, you would probably there would be AI system in the morphers there. Sort of like what they had. I think they had something like this in Power Rangers Sierra Force. Had like a AI system, sort of similar to Jarvis from Iron Man kind of thing there. Uh, which would actually which would really fit in with the concept of Power Rangers. Cause remember, like in Mighty Morphin, when after Jason, Billy, Trini, Zach, and Kimberly morphed for the first time. After they fought with Goldar and the Putties, Goldar grew like magic one, make my Goldar grow. Ew, we need dinosaur power now. And when they got in their dinosaurs, they instantly combined into the Megazord. It's like, wow, I instantly know how to drive this thing. Me too. It seems like second nature. And in the 30th anniversary, that's exactly what Billy said to Trini's daughter. Like, it'll come like second nature. so, so just think with the AI system. Yeah, that second nature is even easier to access there because once they lock their morphers on, the AI system activates, sort of like like it also did in Spider-Man: Homecoming with the suit Spider-Man had from Tony Stark. Like, now accessing morphing grid, scanning new users. Users identified accepted. Right. Now pros now pro now men, say now accessing mental link to download morphing data into user's mind for second nature. Oh, there's a code to activate these things, and I know it. Okay, Kroger Force, power up! And they all do it, and Kroger Red, Kroger Blue, Kroger Green, Kroger Yellow, Kroger Pink, and now they're the Kroger Force Rangers. Uh, and suddenly they get all the information of the powers they have as well as weapons to access. Like now transferring information of powers, abilities, and weapons. And enhanced abilities, weapons, and powers. There. Like, yep. So they have those. Tyson as Kroger Red, since he works on the front end, has pretty much what I thought of in version one of Kroger Force, the Baskart Saber. So I would definitely bring that back. Yes, bring that back. I like some of y'all might think that's kind of silly, but I loved it. There, that actually was one of the. I think that was the best idea in version one. So the Baskart Saber, like the metal of the Baskarts there, and yeah, yeah, as well as you know, and then maybe I would say I don't know if be any other weapons he would have. Excuse me. I think maybe I think they would all have the auto blasters like I did from version I think 3 and more so in version 4, the auto Kroger blasters, which would be sort of like these the old school handhelds we had before the zebras that could fire like then and then of course like I say Baskart Saber which you go the monster that attacks, of course. Instead of being named Sidara, I thought Sidarus because I'm actually going to use Sidara in something in Wildon. So that's why I say keeping that open. Something change. So for Kroger Force, I would change at least this one because I've already thought of the other ones years ago. But for this, yeah, Sidarus, yeah, and his army. Um, since I also let's see. I mentioned I was going to do rock soldiers for Wild Dunn's foot soldiers, but debating if I should do something else with Wild Dunn. Just debating on that there. So yeah. So yeah, probably something else. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe instead of the rock soldier, maybe they start off with um one of the pest type bugs like the roaches or something like that on a basic level there. So anyway, go back to Kroger Force. Rock soldiers. Dun 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 dun. So yeah, they're fighting with them. Kiki as Kroger Force Yellow, because drug GM. Uh, he would he would have a I want to say say possibly hyper heat cannon there. Yeah, get fired up. Her endurance and everything, endurance abilities, and Tyson Kroger Red would also have speed there, super speed. Like cause he runs on the parking lot a lot. Then so Kiki Kroger Yellow have endurance and a hyper heat cannon. Then with with Alex with Kroger Blue. Let's say he would have um I want to say possibly I want to say probably the with his auto blast he would have the weapon known as I know in one version I thought of the dual blaze and then there was the Kroger drill. But yeah, maybe he could keep with the drill saber. Maybe uh yeah, sort of like what Andros had in Power Rangers in Space, that drill Saber, he kind of had yeah, like a dairy drill, something like that. There, yeah. So yeah, they say something like that there. Maybe energy, like an energy drill there. Say spit energy spin. Then Kroger Pink CC with the whole theme of floral and stuff like that. Probably have like a say like her Kroger say I would say oh yeah, probably Kroger. Let's see, think about like with gardening and stuff like that. The think like Let's see, think of gardening tools or flower tools. Yeah, let's see. Should have probably thought this before I started recording there. But let's see, flower. Or better yet, flower weapons. There. Let's think of that. Real world flower. Flower power. So okay, maybe okay. Let's say flower tools there, like dealing with the flowers there. Huh? Let's see, could they be having the watering can, the dagger, stuff like that? Maybe so you got a flower wire. Hmm, that's interesting. See, maybe I don't know what the okay. I'm not sure about that one there. Flower cutters. See, maybe let's say maybe you could say flower fan daggers there because then they could be like they could act as daggers. Then she could also turn them into fans to blow them away. Let's flower fan daggers. Yeah. So then Kroger Force Green, which is Donald, of course. Being he works in produce, so you think of like from the earth and stuff like that. He probably he would probably let's see, because I guess you also got to think in terms of tools for growing like gardening tools there. As Squid would say, I've got gardening tools. So with these wooden and sit there. And say maybe let's see what we got. Oh, pick. Say so you got a pick planter there. Yeah, maybe uh yeah, maybe he would have let's see what they call this the pickaxe, yeah. Yeah, hold a pickaxe. Something like that there. I would say possibly the shovel. That maybe yeah, that could work. Yeah, I would say maybe I would say like yeah with Kroger Blue Alex he would have like say the because they already got okay I already gave daggers. I would say maybe the dual blades there. Yeah, kind of similar to Tyson's sword, but two of them. And yeah, in so in so in Donald's case, Kroger Green, yeah, he would have probably a drill there. Yeah, like the drill into the ground, the plant, stuff like that. it could work. So Kroger Earth Driller there. So yeah, they um so with those, yeah, they defeat Sidar and the Rock Soldiers. Store Manager was kind of upset at first about them taking the Morphers because they were playing for somebody else. But seeing the crisis and how well they've done, yeah, just kind of goes with it there. And yeah, they go on from there. Kroger Zords, only thing they could, and I was actually talking with one of the front end coworkers about it. That we were just kind of he had a thing on his phone and he actually put in Kroger employees as Power Rangers, and it brought up a whole story and picture. Oh my goodness! It was like he said, "I think I'm going to show this to the manager." There, it's like, well, good luck with that there. And they, yeah, it was yeah, that was yeah, yeah, maybe. So yeah, they. So yeah, the Zords. The funny thing about it, when he showed the picture of what his AI had brought up, it actually had looked like Kroger trucks mixed with sort of animal-like features there, sort of like the RPM Zords there. So, so yeah, so yeah, maybe it'll still be the Kroger trucks for the first one. I don't know what a secondary set of Zords would be yet there, but I know the primary one will be the Kroger trucks. They're in different in the matching colors. Yeah, and form the Kroger truck Megazord. There's yeah, pretty much like the basic formation. Blue and green form the legs, yellow and pink as the arm, all attaching to the red, the form the body and head, of course, with a trailer rocket there. So the Kroger truck with, and then of course strike one of their enemies that their big enemies down with the Kroger blade there, uh, the Kroger saber. Also, speaking of that, Tyson's Bascard saber gathers the all the energy metal of the shopping carts on the lot, and then makes like this big giant sword. Bas they they cart rush slash. Oh no! Then you see like an image of a whole line of shopping carts hit the bag guy from the sword. Complete. Uh, and I'm thinking if all of them would have sort of a finishing attack with their weapon, or would there be some time they combine their weapons? So you got saber, dual blades, drill, uh, dagger fans. And then there's the cannon there. Maybe I would say you could put like the drill to the cannon, then attach attach like the daggers, the two daggers, dual blades, and then the sword. Oh, they fire. Say spinning blade drill cannon. Ah! It could work. So maybe there will be that in play. And only other thing I thought of was like if there was a Kroger, like the Sixth Ranger, be Kroger Force Black, probably from Frozen Food. Um, I actually and his name would actually be Travis. Um, Travis one. So I kind of was thinking like maybe there might at first I was thinking of myself as Kroger Black there, sort of like the whole reference of when Tommy joined with the Dino Thunder Rangers, like I may be old but I can still pull it off. But there's also another thought of another guy that I know, not mentioning his name, but he sort of would be, I would say like in his like 40s, 50s, something like that. But as Tommy say, he can still pull it off there. Like, Kroger Force, power up! Kroger Black! Yeah! Yeah! frozen food department. Um, Dances. Or there's another one that not I don't think he's quite as young as the first five, but probably like in his late 30s or something like that. But he could possibly pass. Maybe he could be Travis there. Um, another that actually works in frozen foods. Yeah. And let's see now. Of course, his weapon probably be along with his auto blast the frozen axe there. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, big old axe there. Like Thunder Blades. Dun, dun, and he could even combine it with the other five other weapons there for an even more powerful attack there. So yeah, so you got that. So you got the first five with Kroger trucks. Maybe his I would say his Zord would possibly be I'm thinking of another maybe like a possible bigger Kroger truck there. Let's see. Let's see Kroger trucks there. If there's different, I wonder if there's like different types there. Let's see different types of Kroger trucks. Yeah. Well, they got Kroger trucks for sale. Let's see. Maybe like a look like it's just all the only other different ones from the ones that like deliver stuff for Kroger are like these smaller ones that I'm guessing probably come in like smaller areas, stuff like that, where like a trailer truck can't really get through. Yeah, so uh, and I remember when I was a kid, because my big papa, he retired from Kroger. Because of that, I think I had got a Kroger truck, toy Kroger truck there. So, yeah, when I was a little kid, years before I worked there. Ironic. Uh, so, yeah, maybe. So, not sure what would have yet. There was one thought with Kroger Force version 3. I imagine, like, what if the store itself became a Megazord, or like in SBD, the Delta base did there? Cockpit activate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Kroger Store Megazord. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So, uh, mm, I would say maybe like let's say, so you have the Kroger truck. Maybe this would be like a say Kroger let's see, utility. I would say I want to say utility. Maybe make sure I got the definition of that right. Utility. So utility truck is usually a commercial vehicle with external. So yeah, they kind of with external storage compartment and specialized gear. Mostly in find them like in construction and stuff like that. So yeah, let me go back. So yeah, utility, maybe a Kroger utility truck Zord. Dun, 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 have like a little, like maybe a crane or something on it there, or something other than. But it could actually form uh, itself into its own Zord without combining with any other trucks there. But of course, like the Dragon Zord, it be like armor on it would still be able to combine with the other five Kroger trucks there. Uh, so yeah, something like that. So then I thought about the or better yet, let's see, maybe they have a satellite there. Oh, maybe the Kroger satellite, maybe like a Kroger satellite Zord there. So yeah, the big like maybe they have their own. Maybe this is like a new invention of theirs. So Kroger Black operates. Say Kroger satellite Zord, transform. Be sort of and satellite. I'm kind of thinking of like something round, which would make it transform similar to the Defender wheel, kind of there. Yep. And then Kroger Force White Ranger. You know how they had Keeper Ranger and Die Ranger, which was a kid, and then of course we got Justin and Turbo. Well, there's we have this company that does our cut fruit there. They come over there every day to cut our fruits and everything. And as before, not gonna say their names. And honestly, I may have found out their names at one point, but I think I forgot. I forgot. I actually forgot their names. There's some new ones we had, but I do remember the names of ones we had previously, and one of them that we have now. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna say the names there. So maybe I would say either the one I remember would be Kroger Force White Ranger, or his little brother would be a Kid Ranger. Dun 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 dun. dun. And maybe maybe both of them would be say, would be, since they're brothers. Yeah, maybe Kroger Black and White would be brothers there. So yeah, yeah, be like Kroger White would be like this brother that he did that he thought had that he thought maybe his family had lost or something, and now suddenly he finds them. There was a subplot about a dream world, which of course is now called Yumiko. But yeah, so yeah, Kroger White would have, just like Kroger Black has the satellite Zord, Kroger White would have a space shuttle Zord. So, dun, dun, yeah, he'd be a little boy about like 5 or 6 years old. He's like, Kroger Force, power up! Dun, 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 dun. Kroger White! With his auto blaster, he have, I would want to say, a pendulum weapon there that can like a dowsing pendulum that can fire all over the place there. Yeah, sort of like one of the characters in Shaman King. So yeah, that's pretty much what all I thought of there. For the six, would this be a thing? Would I possibly redo some of how I told some of the other versions and say some future videos? You have to find out. But as for now, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Get our available books. Definitely support us on Patreon, just like Iceman Universe does. Iceman Universe does, and also definitely and check out his stuff like Hey Arnold, Naruto, One Piece, and Hey Arnold, Naruto, One Piece, and also Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, and Eddie, and Spy Family. Definitely support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, King Gay, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, Janara Nellens, Chris Godfrey, also known as Jin, and EJ the Supreme. And also hang out with us in the live streams on Discord and on Facebook, and let's tell each other some stuff on that McCary app. And all that said, we will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care, everybody. Peace out.